So, hello everyone. We are back in 2025 and we are back with a gem. We are here with LJ Shellings. I'm laughing because I can't really be serious because he's one of my best friends.
Facts.
Facts indeed. So, but the reason why we have LJ Shellings here with us is because he is an incredible supporter of the FLINTA community, which I think obviously is so important. And as I've said to you numerous times, we don't operate in a bubble. We are in this together, and having all the support and collaboration is important. Now, LJ is a magnificent house and garage artist. He's a producer, he's a musician, he's a DJ, he's a businessman, he's all the things. But
Embarrassed.
No, but most importantly, he is an incredibly kind and generous person who also has two daughters. But anyway, we'll find out in a bit. So without further ado, LJ, do you want to tell us a bit about your background as an artist, but also personal things so people can get to know you?
Yeah.
And then we can keep rolling the conversation, see where it takes us.
Cool. Thank you for having me on, first of all.
Pleasure.
I think it's a very I didn't envisage being on anything like this. And I think actually it's a really good step for the community of creating a positive message around people who are supportive, and I don't see many people doing it, so it's very good of you to have me on, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you for having me on, first of all.
It's a pleasure.
So music wise, I used to DJ a little bit when I was younger, when I was a kid. My elder brother was a DJ, so he used to DJ garage at home. I mean, he used to do some pirate radio stations and stuff as well, but we were quite competitive as a family. It was that sort of thing where, because he did it, I didn't want to do it. So as much as I loved it, he did it, but I was sort of like, I don't want to tell him I think that's really cool. So what I used to do is sometimes mix on his decks when he was out. So he used to go out and then I used to turn it back on. I remember it took me like a week to work out how to get the sound to actually come out the speakers.
What kind of decks did he have?
Technics.
Nice. Wow. So you started on vinyl.
He was vinyl. I didn't know there was anything other than vinyl, right? So yeah, Technics. I couldn't tell you this out because I was just a kid. I remember originally I used to listen to, when you put your ear really close to the needle, you can kind of just like hear the track a little bit. So yeah. I started doing that, and then we worked out how to make the sound come out of a mixer, and that was just kind of for fun. Not a lot, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed kind of messing around with that. Then sort of got a bit older, had children. So I had my first daughter when I was 20.
That's when you told me that the first time. It's like, do you mind if my daughters come when we're doing a gig together? I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
This
was not
20.
in a nightclub, for the record.
Yes, daytime.
Yeah, this was a daytime, child appropriate gig.
It really was. We're playing disco.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of I mean, I just spoke about this with Kat. I did an interview with Kat.
The Society. We had her on episode 3, I believe.
You did, yes. Who I adore. Amazing lady. So when my daughter was born, she had some health problems, and the focus became, she basically needed a kidney transplant, to cut a long story short. So the focus kind of was switched from anything social and stuff, and it was kind of like, we have to focus on this and do that. So that took a while. She had a kidney transplant. I gave her a kidney eventually, 24, so about 4 years later. And then I think I just settled into life a little bit, of family life and stuff, and then I had another daughter. And then it was only when COVID came, sort of because of them health complications, as a family, we were a high-risk family. So we had to isolate at home. And I think a lot of people I meet now who DJ seem to start during COVID. But I just kind
Yours
of...
truly.
Yeah, there we go. Lots of people did. So there's a good positive from it, right? Because everyone became very creative and stuff. So for me, it was something that when I was sort of at home and we couldn't leave the house at all, what did I enjoy that I never sort of pursued properly? And that's something that came up. So my birthday was coming up in July. And a few friends put some money together for my birthday and bought me a DDJ 400. I had a 10-year-old Mac laptop. And I just basically sat at home on YouTube just mixing. and learned. So that's kind of when I learned to DJ. And then from that, I think at that stage you're like, great, I'm going to be doing festivals and I'm going to be flying the world and stuff, because everyone does, right? And then I kind of just enjoyed it to a point where it was my favorite thing to do. Because it's complex and there's so much happening. So that was that. And then when we sort of came out of COVID, I realized as a family we could sort of supplement income with it. So it was a little bit rushed when I played first. So I started doing bars and pubs and things like that, just to kind of bring income in and like learn with the pressure of a crowd and things like that. And we've kind of just continued right through to now. I've done very well with that. And then now recently, about a year ago ish, I started doing production as well. So that's kind of the music history and how it's sort of taken me so long to get to where I'm at now.
It took you very little, if you think about it. COVID was a few years ago, and you're smashing it.
Yes.
Genres, house and garage.
Yes.
What are your favorite genres? Are these, or do you like a variety? What do you specialize in when you produce?
So production's taught me a lot, and the genres I play are definitely house, and I think houses, I kind of started with house, and when I started playing, tech house was really big. And I was kind of just like, what the DJs play, the DJs I can see, like Fisher and Dom Dollar and these sort of people that I saw at the time. So I kind of copied them in a sense of like, what are they doing, and started doing the same. And actually I grew up in Gypsy Hill, southeast London, near Central Hill Estate and Red Brick Estate. And a lot of my music influence as a kid was like a lot of UK rap and grime and American hip hop. And I remember people selling like 50-cent mixtapes on the bus home and stuff and things like that. So I have got that kind of music history in me. And what I've found really interestingly is, even though I started with house, I've kind of gravitated back towards that sort of sound. So it is house and garage, but there's a lot of that sort of rap UK influence in there. And now I'm producing. I've spent quite a long time now trying to merge the two of like sort of minimal deep tech house and garage, housey garage. I think roos are quite similar in a lot of ways and things like that. And I'm trying to make it. That's the sound I'm trying to make, but I'm still very much playing with it and having fun with it and working that sound out. So.
Oh, I'm excited for you and for us, because we get to listen to. When can we listen to your productions?
I have played a few, but what's really good about production is you learn so much while you're doing it. So you it's completely changed the way I DJ. It's completely changed my ears in the biggest way of listening for the little intricate sounds in tracks and these little shots that really do make all the difference in little synth sounds. So I have made stuff and then kind of moved past it myself, and I kind of get why artists, like everyone's like, oh, everyone loves their first album and then they never follow up. I understand that a lot more now, where you kind of just develop yourself how you do, and you should just be free with it. And luckily a lot of the people around me are just very like, do your thing, be free. So I think I'm a lot closer to putting stuff out this year. I do play tracks sometimes in sets of mine, just to kind of feel how it is, but I'm not sure, and I'm not keen to put a time on it, because I think when there's stuff I've rushed out and put out and I've taken it back off SoundCloud, and things like that I've done.
Are you a perfectionist?
I am, but I've actually learned through you'll never finish anything if you have that attitude, because you'll make a track and actually that track almost has its own life.
Okay.
And then sometimes I'll go away from it and come back a week later and I've got a different take on it. And then I start taking that track and I'm like, no, that track is in that direction and it has to stay in that direction. And it doesn't, my take on it now doesn't mean it's better. I've just got a different outlook. So it's kind of managed, and you learn a lot. You learn so much about life and the way you conduct yourself in life. I have personally, there's lots of things I take from that and put it back into life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so lovely to hear, because it makes me reflect on when we first met, which was probably 2 years ago, I want to say, even more.
Yeah.
2.5.
I think so, 2 and a bit.
We met at Southeast,
Wallingham Flying Club.
Yes. Which was a daytime festival.
Yes.
And
Who Dare Spins Radio.
Who Dare Spins Radio. That's it.
Darren Hook, DJ Hook, who I have.
We love you, DJ Hook.
We love you big time.
That was actually the first time I played in public.
I didn't know that.
Not that time, the year before.
Yeah.
But that was the same festival. So the second time, then I was asked to come and play. Thank you, DJ Hook. And then I meet you, and then you just had a great aura. We didn't speak that much that evening. I just saw that you're very professional, very careful with the equipment, and I thought maybe maybe it's his equipment.
It
And
was
it
my
was.
equipment.
And then what? About probably a few weeks later, I had this gig where I needed to hire equipment, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna message you because I bet you can help me out. And then it just happened that we started working together for a bit.
Yeah.
We still are, including last week we had
Last
a thing.
week, I covered a gig for you. Very
So-
appreciative.
No, good. And you're like my wingman and
Agreed.
I'm your wingwoman. It's like we just complement each other.
We're a
We work
duo
together
now.
really well. Yes, and you know what? Our friendship has grown, I feel, really quickly, and
Yeah.
that's because you're a really honest and genuine person.
I am.
And you are genuinely one of my favorite people on earth.
You are. I genuinely mean you are too. I tell everyone about you.
Yes, I tell everyone about you. Oh,
I'm like, I've got this mate Mel. She's so great.
that's so good. And you just how you are and how honest you are and kind and generous. And I have so many examples, and I'm gonna link this to a question for you. But I have so many examples of when I experienced gatekeeping, when people would try for me not to get on a certain radio show, when people knew that I specifically wanted to go on that radio show.
Yeah.
And you know, when I applied for things and then I experienced individuals I knew who were trying for me not to get on it. And do it. Huh? Yeah, do it. And actually, the perfect example is Voices Radio, right? I applied to be on the Voices Radio of 6 months. We all know it's a waiting list. It's an amazing radio station.
Voices is to interrupt, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, please do.
Voices is the best. Voices taught me so much about, and they don't really know this, but and I spoke a little bit about this earlier in the interview, and I will be brief. You know what I'm like.
Keep chatting.
But January 22, a couple of years ago, I had a really, really terrible turn of events in life and was very depressed. And one day I got the email from Voices. I'd applied to be on the night show. And I got the email from Voices just being like, yeah, we're going to have you on the night, just a night show. So it's a pre-record you send in. And it's like everything in this industry where you can make as much out of it as you want to. If you just want to send a pre-record and not make anything of it, that's what you'll get from it.
Yeah.
But it really made my week.
Yeah.
Like, really helped me. You know, when you get something on the right day where you're really rough, I really got that email on the right day. And they are a station that leads by example.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're so good at I've got paid gigs from them. I've got studio slots and cover people. I met Nav from G-Shock via Voices. I met Alfie Butts. I met Sadiq, my friend Sadiq Bello.
Yeah.
I've Indaflow, who you know through Voices.
Indaflow,
like,
what a legend.
The amount of good that's come from the formation of that station is insane.
It's like a cultural landmark now.
Yes.
It's not just a radio station, which is why I was so keen to be on it. I know they're promoters of diversity and inclusion and everything that I stand for. So anyway, I apply. Because of such a long waiting list, I didn't expect to be contacted that quickly. But anyway, long story short, there were a few individuals who simply gatekept it. Not from Voices, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to name any names. However, I messaged you because I was quite bummed one day, and I said, oh, you know what, I really want to get on the Voices Radio, and I didn't get the opportunity. And what did you do? Literally a week later, you messaged me and you said, I got us a slot at Voices Radio. We're doing a back-to-back session. But this is who you are, and you don't do it because it's an agenda of any sort. You're just that kind of person. You introduced me to Nav at G-Shock Radio, then Nav offered us a takeover, which we had back in December. And it's not just me, there's so many people in both of our lives that I met through you, actually. So I met in the flow through you, who's awesome. Tasha MP4, who's awesome.
Modlar,
Modlar, my goodness, Modlar I met through you, which is mind-blowing. Modlar, I flipping love you. We're like twins right now. It's just, she's amazing. She's actually going to teach me production.
There you
go. But she's just one of the most special people. I met some of the most special and incredible people through you and through the platform that you have created and that you generously offer to everyone, no matter where they come from, no matter their sexual identity, gender, etc. I know you believe in equality and that everyone should have a seat at the table no matter what. And I really value that about you.
Thank you.
Hence why I was really keen for everyone else to
Thank you.
meet you properly, because you're a really special person in the scene.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that we didn't. I don't. It's not something I've consciously ever tried to do. I've got music's helped me in a massive way, especially in the last couple of years. When life was difficult, I turned to music, and it was there. And all these people you're mentioning are people I've been lucky enough to meet. And I think above all, I'm very protective of who I allow in my life.
Yeah.
But if I get a bad vibe off someone, it may be me wrong, absolutely, but I just don't follow it at all. If I get a good vibe on someone, I'm kind of all in. I'm like, good, you're a good person, and that's it. And I'm not often wrong with that. And it's just, I just want people to have the same, experience music in the same way I do now. And what the things it does for me personally, I want as many people as possible to just experience that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's not a conscious effort. I just see people and I'm like, you're great. You're amazing. I love you. I say this to you all the time. And I'm like, you want to be on Voices. I'll do all I can to help you get on that. And it's like the day. So a lot of these people you met, I set up the day for, we done a G-Shock radio. So we do a monthly on G-Shock radio.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nav as usual.
Nav, what a legend.
One of my favourite people. And
we love you, Nav.
Another fantastic male role model in this community.
I agree.
He really is. He's amazing.
I agree.
And we've got 12 shows last year and we've got 12 this year. And I decided to do one as an all-girl day. Nice. In January. And that's where what I tried to put in the room was a lineup that, first of all, no one plays me unless they're sick. If there's any doubt about females or anyone who's not got the ability and they're just being ridiculous, find a single set of mine that's happened on Akin of anyone who's ever played for me, and tell me it doesn't blow your mind. Amazing. Amazing people. So that is, the threshold for me is, are you good at this? If you're not, I'll help you if I can.
Yeah.
If you are, let's go. I don't care after that. If you're good, I don't care who, there's no I try and be conscious of making sure we've got mixed lineups. Yeah. Because I want that. Simple. That's it. It can be that simple. I want a mixed lineup, a representative lineup. Yeah. The first ever show we did for G-Shock, I wanted to do like a story of London. So I got a load of DJs. Some guys I'd met from the Prince of Peckham who play like Amma Piano. I got Just P in who does Funky House.
I love Just P. I met Just P through you as well, actually.
There you go. But you got Just P who has come to England and plays Funky House in London. So she's got a unique take on that.
She does.
So I want to show that because that's the story of London. The thing I love about London is the culture clash and the people. And it's why a lot of my sets are really kind of, because it's a London set. I've spent a lot of time playing in South London at a residency, and it's like you have to go on a journey to account for, it was in Peckham, right? So you got people who've lived in Peckham all their lives. You've got students coming from Kent, Surrey, up north. And then you've got the older crowd, and that's London. And you have to play to all them people. Yeah. So it's the same thing where when we put shows on, I'm like, I want it to be representative of London. Yes. So there's no I don't know what the word would even be. It's just me being like, I want these people to play. Yes. Let's set them up. And it's like that day. Everyone I put there that day, when we've done the girls' day, is amazing and lovely people. Yes. And before I even went there, I was like, they're all going to get on so well and they're going to do so much together.
It's true. And was I not one of them?
You?
Was it last
Modeler,
January? Yes.
Alex Rebel, Tasha.
Yes. Just B was there. Just Hands.
Jess. That's the lineup.
Yeah, that was a really good.
And I couldn't make it.
I remember, well, you had an excuse. You got hit by a car.
I got hit by a car on the motorway.
I was going to say. So.
And Nav rang me in the morning and was like, do not come in here today.
Honestly.
He knows what I'm like.
Yes. So. No. We had the best time. And I've made friendships.
Shell was there, maybe.
And Shell, yes.
There you go. See?
Shell was there. Everyone that you've mentioned was there. And I had... At that time, I just started Point Blank Music School. I didn't have a lot of friends in the industry other than you and In The Flow. Yeah. I didn't really know anyone in DJing at the time. And then that day was magical for me because I got to know loads of really cool people. Really good day, talented people. I learned more about the industry and we're still friends. Like Modeler and I are twins, basically.
Good people only. See?
I mean, a couple of times I was at a party last year, like 2 parties, and separate people came to me and said, Modeler, is that you? So I know. So when I said twinning, literally. Shout out to Modeler again. Now, you mentioned earlier, and I can't remember if it was in our just chat when we were doing our fabulous makeup or now, but you mentioned something around that not everyone in the industry is as open as you are, and that there are some challenges that women in music, but also the FLINTA community face when it comes to getting opportunities and having the same platform of visibility as men, let's say.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the challenges, and what do you think should be done to improve and make it more equal?
I think the challenge is one of the really simple ones, and I think Kat said it. Well, Kat said it when she was on, and I experienced this recently, and I shared Kat's video that you guys put up.
Ah, that's good to know.
I tagged you. You saw it.
Oh,
You're a
yes,
busy
I
lady.
did.
You did. There we go.
No, I did see it.
Professional.
Yeah.
But so one of the things I find is what Kat said is if I post a show or an opportunity to play or something like that,
Yeah.
I will get a split of percentage wise 95-98% men
Yeah.
and a really small amount of women. And I don't know the reason, but I've now, and that is, it's again, the best thing you can do is listen. So I saw Kat's interview and I was like, that's interesting. And then when I posted to say we've got our G-Shock shows this year, and let's get people on. And then I noticed from that we got so many male applicants, which is great. That's not a bad thing.
No.
But we want more women to apply and more people to apply. And I also kind of understand it through some male DJs I know who are amazing, but nowadays you have to be amazing as a DJ, and you kind of have to market yourself and be chatty and stuff. And from me, you know me very well, it's very easy for me to sit here and talk to you because I know you and I trust you. I love you.
Oh, I love you.
But some people don't have that side to them. It doesn't mean they're not good. So when I put people on, I specifically also look for some people myself who I've seen and been like, they're really good.
Yeah.
They're not contacting me. So sometimes I will still contact people and be like, we're amazed. Why aren't you coming on? What's the deal?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, in a simple sense. And I think that the scene is a little bit overrun with pop-up events.
Okay.
And I think, and I'm not criticizing anyone, but I think a lot of the quality's gone out of it. I'm not a big fan of when you see these events that are sort of 8 hours long and it's sort of like 8 back-to-backs, half an hour, or B3Bs with people and get it on, and it's sort of you get this culture of like come in and bring 3 friends, or we expect you to sell tickets and stuff.
Yes.
I understand it's a very simple business model to do it that way, but you're not actually going to build a community that way.
I agree.
You're just kind of
asking
asking
more
someone,
transactional, doesn't it?
Exactly. You ask someone to come and you can play on a back-to-back for an hour if you bring 3 friends of you.
Yes.
And I've always tried to avoid that as much as possible. I have just avoided it. And I think within that, people are so focused on running a good event, they're not thinking about the community. So they're not thinking what sort of. I'm always like, what do I want my events to feel like?
Yeah.
I know what they sound like, but what does it feel like when you're in there?
Yeah.
And you have to, when you do that, you then start thinking about what the DJs will play, not just who they're going to bring.
Yes.
I worry about the vibe of the event. And when I then worry about the vibe of the event and what I want it to feel like, then I think about what I want the lineup to look like. I want it to be representative.
Yes.
So I think my core beginning is not, I want to get people in just have a good party.
Yeah.
How do I want this to feel? And I want it to feel, and I want to make sure when people look at us, we are being representative. And
nice.
we are including people. And when people come, if there's girls there, I want them to see a girl playing. So, and that's again me thinking about that vibe of, there's not me shoehorning someone in or just doing it for the sake of it. I'm like, how does it feel when you're in there?
And this is a key point that you're touching on, because we, with previous guests, we were talking about role modeling and how important it is to actually see someone who's a DJ who is kind of like you, woman or trans or non-binary, etc., the whole spectrum. And for a long time, and I can't remember who I've spoken to, probably Madison in episode 2, I can't remember, but we were talking about one of my friends or my guests saying, I didn't really see a woman up there, and therefore I didn't think that I could do it. And it's as simple as, if you see someone, then you think, oh, yeah, that's for me as well.
Yeah.
And it's the same for anyone in the FLINTA community and the broader community.
Yeah, agree.
So the fact that you're thinking about the vibe of the event and you want representation. There was another thing you told me, and I know it was a while ago, but safety is very important for you.
Yeah.
And you were saying that at your events, you want to security is number one, and sometimes you're the security man as well when it comes to events. And and I know you know this because we embrace you. You're part of the community. But you know that and we were talking about some of the challenges being safety and people coming to an event and feeling safe, that they won't be harassed, that women won't be hit on by 50 men or whatever, or other women. I mean, you never know. But people feel safe to go there and be themselves and enjoy the music. And that's the ethos of it and why we do it.
Yeah.
And I value so much what you do because you promote that kind of safety, and hence you can see the results in that you've created such a mixed community where people feel so comfortable coming together no matter the background.
And that is, I'm very switched on when I play, and it's part of good DJs read the room. And when I read the room, I think I've played so much. We've got I've had a residency last year where I've played a very commercial venue for a very long time, and there's lots of students there, and it's a mixed venue. And I think there was a video I saw the other day on Instagram. I'll send it to you after if you want to link it, but it was interviewing people. It was like a street interview, and the question was, at what age should you stop going clubbing? I'm not sure if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
And all the responses were like, oh, 24, 25, 26, you shouldn't be in the club around a load of 20-year-old girls at that age. And it was all like, all the answers had the same theme of like dating. And I was just like, I don't understand that too well. Because I'm like, for me, I don't care how old you are, you come to an event. Be 18, be allowed to be in the venue. Through to 70.
Yes.
Why? And I think it's a cultural thing in this country a little bit where it's like some people associate music events with hooking up or picking people up and dating. And I talk a lot, but I tend to be quite good at listening, and especially at the residency we had. And I would see, there is no problem with someone approaching someone in a club, or there's absolutely not. But what I could see often happening was someone approaching a girl, and then the girl clearly saying no. And instead of no being no and someone leaving, it almost became like a bargaining. It's harassment. Right? And it's people would maybe frame it as like pressure, but you're harassing someone. And I would see it a lot, and it's like the issue, and what I tried to talk to security quite a lot about was like, if I'm in this venue, right, and it's a no vaping, this is one thing I really used to notice all the time. Packed dance floor with 300 people, and they'd see someone vape, and they would be over in 3 seconds. And they'd be over going, you can't vape in here. But I'm like, you switched on enough to see that. But when I've got a guy hitting on a 20-year-old girl with 2 of her friends, and she said no, and then he's standing convincing, just pressuring and almost like ruining their evening. And I feel that because it kills the dance floor, and I don't want someone to feel it's the vibe of the event. I don't want someone to feel like that.
And the woman's safety, and
it's not safe.
Wanting to feel
people don't want to come back because it's not a safe environment.
Yes.
And it's something that I've discussed at length with people, and with girls in particular from the residency who I have talks with, because I've not experienced it. I've had girls hit on me and I've said no, and they've been a bit more pressured, but I'm just kind of like, I can just be very firm and say no. But I don't think it's the same the other way around. I think it's, I don't know. But all I can do is speak to people. So all I've ever done is speak to people and had them explain that to me.
Yes.
And there's girls who would kind of come and say to me, like, we don't have drinks covers here. And I'm kind of like, I hear about spiking, but I never worry about getting spiked on a night out. But for so many girls I've spoken to, that's like a big factor in their night out.
Huge.
They think, and I don't, so I've learnt that through listening. And then I tried for a very long time with venues to be like, can we do drinks covers? And it wasn't the venue. It's kind of another battle people are up against, is like, it's not the venue being ignorant. It's just like, they're just not, it's unfortunately not at the top of their list of things to do, because they want the money and they want the music and they want all this stuff, and it unfortunately falls down the pecking order of list. And when you kind of push it, they kind of go, yep, we'll get that done. It's not a no, but then no one remembers during the week, and it's a massive thing, and I can only push it so much before you start just being very frustrated with it.
Yes.
And it's same with the venue we did. I asked for a long time for Ask Angela training, right? Because I spoke to a girl who was like, no one here. And I'm like, I've heard of this thing again.
Yeah.
But it's not something I have to think about.
Yes.
Fortunately, or it's not something I suffer with.
Yeah.
So all I can do is listen. And then when I go deeper down that rabbit hole and I see articles on it, they do tests on the Ask Angela training in venues.
Yes.
And a number of venues, people go up and ask for Angela and the staff don't even know what they're talking about.
Oh, that's terrible, because that sign is everywhere as well.
And that's when I'm like, let's get Ask Angela training. Then again, I've spoken to people and said, look, I'm speaking to the venue, we're trying to get this sorted.
Yeah.
And then when they go, well, to be fair, it doesn't do anything anyway. I'm like, what do you mean?
Wow.
And then they send me these articles and it's like, we are going to the bar, they do spot checks, and they go to the bar and say, is Angela there? And the staff are just going, and I don't know how we...
Yes. It feels like an industry problem. But what I appreciate about your approach is that, yes, like you say, there are some things that you don't have to worry about that others do, but you listen and then you implement things to make other people feel safe. So for you, it's not about, I don't experience it and therefore this experience doesn't exist, like many people do, let's be honest. Or I've been in a situation where I was in a club and I think I was playing actually, and someone did ask for Angela at the bar. The bar person was unsure to begin with, but then the manager came and something happened in the end, but it wasn't very smooth sailing. That woman was terrified. It didn't feel, safe, and it was a reputable club. It didn't feel safe, and then I could see that the next time I went to the same party, there were less women. And what I think your approach helps is that you have empathy and you don't have to experience the same feelings or the same experiences in order to do something to make things better for others. And I wonder whether you having two daughters as well has an impact. I don't know, positive impact I mean, but you are certainly very different to any kind of male I met generally, but also in the industry, whereby you have a kind of empathy and love, and you're not afraid to show that, and you're not afraid to be vulnerable. And I think that's beautiful and strong at the same time.
Scary.
And scary, but you know what? You're just, you're in the past 2 months in particular, when I go out, I really do get approached by quite a lot of men who watch the podcast and they say, can you give us examples? Can we see more of what good looks like in the industry? We want to do more for the community and we want to learn. And I think you're a really good example and role model for these men, and to show that actually things can be done in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah. They can. And I think a common theme for me in life in general is being quite direct in goals.
Yeah.
And I mean, in terms of, if I want something, I'm quite good at avoiding the side quests from it. I'm quite good at sort of going direct. So in this capacity, it kind of comes out in a way of like, I think it's what I said earlier, is I worry about the vibe of my event.
Yeah.
And I don't have the vision of what that's like for everyone.
Yeah.
But I can get that by speaking to people. And when I get that by speaking to people... Because
you care. That's why.
It is, yeah. Because it's the same as me. I've got a lot out of music in a very rough time.
Yeah.
It's saved me in a lot of ways. It has. And I want everyone to experience that.
Yeah.
It's the same way I want DJs to play and feel the things I feel when they play.
Yes.
And the only way I can do that is listening and then being very direct. So it can really be simple.
Yes.
If you think about it, so the guys you're talking about, if they're running an event, who's coming to your event? The guys are coming. What do they want? The girls are coming. What do they want?
Yes.
If there's members of other communities, what are they looking for to feel safe?
Yes.
And it's really easy because what I'm very fortunate about is the same people you've met. Is like, I met Jess Hands at Voices in a
Yes.
studio day one day.
Yes.
And the first trans person I've had a discussion with.
Yes.
And all I did was basic questions to find out. And then I followed Jess on Instagram, and I then have just watched what she does.
Yes.
And I've learned.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that. And we've become really good friends.
Lovely.
And I've learned a lot through her, just seeing how she is. And she'll post about struggles she has. So I'm listening. You know? And you can learn so much. And then if Jess, I think if Jess attends my event, what's she looking for?
Yeah.
If a girl from my residency wants to come to my event, what's she looking for?
Yes.
If a guy comes, what they're looking for. And that's kind of how I do it. I'm not trying it. I'm just kind of like, what do you want? How can I help in this way? But it doesn't have to be complex.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It can be really simple.
I agree.
Because it is my battle.
Yes.
But I can't feel what anyone feels. I can only try and help and empathize with people and try and help them. But I can't feel it.
Yeah.
I can understand and go, God, when girls I left the club once with a girl outside who the cab had come and her friends had this really difficult decision whether to leave her and left her, and I came out. I was just playing at the club and I came out, I was like, you okay?
Yeah.
And she was like, she looked scared.
Yeah.
She's standing outside a club venue on her own.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll wait with you. And I could see she was uncomfortable, and I'm like, you're good, I just played here. Like, my name's on the flyer, you're good, I'll just wait with you for a minute. I waited with her, Lou, my friend Lou. We're now really good friends.
Oh, nice.
But it's just in that moment you go, it's just having the capacity to be like, this is a 20-year-old girl stood outside a club with loads of people around on her own waiting for a taxi.
Yes.
Is it going to make her feel better if I just stand next to her for 5 and make sure she's okay? Yes, it's simple.
Yeah.
It can really be simple.
Then that's what I love about you. And what you've just told me made me think of Amsterdam when we both went to ADE this year. And we have many stories from that.
Some won't be shared.
I know. But one of them was when I was meeting my friends from the Queer Agenda. Shout out to Iona.
Yeah.
And we went to Tilatec, which is where their business place was.
Well,
yeah. Such a good place.
Amazing. A really
good, wasn't
really
it?
Like flagship.
Yes.
Like that when I went there, I was like, this is a real, and this is what it's similar to what you said earlier about having a trans person on the lineup. That's what you can aim at.
Yes.
For everyone else in that community.
Yes.
Having a girl is, you get a girl there who can be inspired by it and come and be, I want to play. That's the feeling I got there. For me, it was like almost overwhelming with how much I learned in the space of like 2 hours.
Oh, amazing.
But the most accepting community. I walked in, it was just like, hi, we love you, everyone's great. And it was just amazing to experience. It really was.
I agree. So Tilatec, we've done a special episode on it, which is on YouTube. But Tilatec, for those of you who haven't watched it, Tilatec used to be a school, it used to be called the school, but now it's a space for queer businesses. So there are art studios, tattoo studios, like BDSM and bondage workshops.
What I saw was a
gym.
Which blew my mind.
There was a gym specifically for non-binary and trans.
This is what blew my mind. And then I asked that question.
Yeah.
So we've got a gym here, and then she sort of said, this is for people who are transitioning.
Yes.
And they don't feel comfortable going to a normal gym.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
How you learn.
Yes.
So listening.
Yes.
And
what I loved about, we had a great time because there was an RA sponsored record digging event.
So much money
I know, we spent so much money there, but it was worth it. It was for a good cause.
Yes, it was.
And good tunes.
Yes.
But the way that you navigated that space again confirmed to me how, humble and respectful you are and how aware you are of the spaces that you enter. You were very respectful of the space, and you were actively listening and learning and asking really useful and nice questions in a non-threatening, genuinely wanting to learn manner, which is what the community loves. It's not everyone knows everything about the LGBT community, but asking questions in a way to show genuine curiosity and wanting to learn and support, you can't ask for any more than that. So and also another thing I want to say about you, because I obviously think you're awesome on many levels. You have never mansplained anything to me.
Haven't I?
Which is great. Like, I don't think I've known any man in my life who hasn't at one point over-explained something without knowing that I already knew. But you're just, even when we did our back-to-backs, you're like, all right, let's do some vinyl, let's do whatever. Like, you didn't try to force any knowledge upon me, assuming that I didn't
Press
know.
this button, Mel.
Yes. It's the assumption that I don't know. That's what upsets me. But anyway, you've never
I
done
never
that.
knew that. Thank you.
There you go. You've never done that. So
That's not 100% record, I'm sure. My daughters will attest.
really. True or false, have you or have you not had your makeup and nails done?
Not nails.
Not nails.
Mel
Is it
made me
makeup
get
and hair?
powder on my face because she said it would stop me being shiny.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to attest to. And yes, Lana, you can put makeup on me when you see this.
Oh,
Hi, Riley and Lana, because they'll
oh,
like that
they're
as well.
such sweeties. I love your daughters.
they're the best.
They really are special.
They're the
Special
best.
girls.
They are, yeah.
Now, we've talked about lots of different things. In particular, the community, music, your background. What I would like to touch on next is some of your advice to people who just started DJing or just started promoting or just started to put out radio residencies, etc. What would be the 3 things you think, let's say, a DJ, a new DJ on the scene should do in order to get visibility, get booked, progress?
First of all, I've learned that my goal was and remains doing this full time.
Yeah, okay.
And I want there's places I want to play all over the world, and there's things like that. But I've actually met quite a lot of people who, so I thought that was everyone's goal.
Okay.
Some people just want to play parties to their friends.
Yeah.
So it goes back to some advice I've heard from Nav from G-Shock again.
Yeah.
Who's an incredibly wise man.
He is.
Always ask yourself why.
Yeah.
First of all. So first, why do you want to DJ? What's the goal here? And it will change for sure. But why do you want to do it? And then I think networking is massive. And I'm only just, I think, as I explained earlier, because for me it was a bit of there was financial pressures when I started. And my option was, I couldn't really say, with 2 daughters, sorry girls, you're going to my mum's tonight because I'm out networking at an event in East London. It doesn't work like that. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to kind of be like, we need to earn, we need to pay the bills. I'm going to work. That's it. So I started in that way. And only now, really this year coming up, is the first year I'm going to be able to network and do things like that, because I've had to work a lot. But I'd say if not in my position, if you're just starting up and you just sort of want to pick this up as a hobby and potentially do it as a job, or you just really enjoy it as a passion, network. Because the same way I've met you and I've met so many amazing people, you will learn more from them people, not just as a DJ, but as a person.
Yeah.
Say all these things, and these are all new things to me that I've picked up. I just wanted to DJ, and I've ended up learning so much about myself and people. So networking, I think, is the main one. Once you start, find people who you vibe with.
Yeah.
You'll play with them, and you'll find tracks together, and you'll have fun together. Technically, you should. Not that you should, but for me, and the goals I have, if I have 2 hours sitting at home in the evening spare, which is rare, but lately it's happened a bit more, I'll turn my decks on and start mixing.
Yeah.
Because I love it. It's like I got here today and we're getting ready and we're planning stuff.
Yes.
And I start mixing.
Nice.
It's my favourite thing.
Yes.
Production's getting there.
I had my best makeup session. I felt like I was on what's it called? One of those boats.
Yeah.
Sipping champagne.
Yeah.
Looking at the sunset. Such groovy tunes.
But that's
Thank you for that.
For me, it's always the vibe of things.
Yeah.
So again, it's that same thing of what the vibe feels like. It's for me. It's my vibe is I love just sitting at home.
Yeah.
I'll sit at home and mix on my own now, and that's where I started, and that's it. So I think you have to have, if you want to get to the top and do them sort of things, you have to be in a position where it's your favorite thing to do.
Nice.
Don't force it, because I think a lot of people I know who've started, I've met them, and they've kind of gravitated away from DJing because it's not what they wanted, and they've moved on, which is also fine because you'll learn that from it. But
yeah.
networking, number one, practice a lot.
Yeah.
And practice is more of a sense of you should want to do this all the time.
Yes.
And the third one for me, which I'm learning again lately, is to enjoy it. I love it, But because of the work capacity of it first, I still loved it, but there was a lot of pressure.
Yes, that's the thing.
As I've developed from the need to work and earn money from it less, at the same time I started enjoying it more. So now I'm really digging into my sound, and a lot of people who maybe don't DJ won't understand it, because there's levels of DJing whereby you start and you can just play the hits in a bar.
Yes.
And after a while you get to a point where you've got these intricate tracks you love and like, and there's sounds you like and all this stuff. So then you have to find your own sound. So enjoy it, you know? So network, practice a lot, and make sure you're enjoying it. And if you're not, just change your sound or try new fun things.
I love that.
Like that. I think that's it.
I'm going to add one more to your list. Is what I've learned last year is pace yourself. And as you were telling me, honestly, I was the same. Last year I was going nonstop. And for this, my reflection is I actually enjoy music a lot more when I don't have the pressure of preparing for a gig here, a gig here, a gig here. So now I've become a lot more selective with what I say yes to. I'm very grateful to be invited. It's just because I feel like the crowd will get the best of me if I play a bit less and I have a bit more time to curate and enjoy and kind of shape my sound. And, you know, again, just starting out as well, because I'm not a veteran in the industry, you want to do everything and it's exciting and you can do all the things, and we're both like excited puppies all the time, like oh, I'm gonna do this too. But actually reflecting a bit more on the why. What is it that you want to do? Why do you want to do it? But also understanding that it's probably a lifelong journey if this is your passion, and you don't have to achieve everything in 1 year.
It's not a sentence. You're completely right there. It's a life journey. And things change, and like you do in life, you change, and with music you change. But I'm exactly the same boat as you at the moment, where I'm now really digging into what I like and saying no to things that I can go and earn some money off that, and it's great, and I am really grateful. But actually that kind of distracts you. It does affect me. I'll go to the next gig and I'll be like, God, I remember playing that song last time that the commercial crowd really loved, but this isn't it now. Or I'll record a set and I'll find myself just slipping in edits that I love, but I don't want to be, this is me now. So having that discipline almost all of a sudden to be like, actually, I want to become more of an artist myself now.
You are. You don't have to become. You already are one. I guess, I don't know how long we've been rolling for, but a while. We've been rolling for a while. Final question that I want, well, maybe two questions, and then we're done. But one question, and I'm really keen to ask you, because I've been asked this a few times by male promoters. From your perspective and all of the things we've discussed around your vision for events and the vibe, what would be 2 or 3 things that you would advise a promoter to do in order to make things more inclusive and more safe for their crowds?
Have, first of all, safety. Number one, has to be safe. And I think you do that by... our residency, we had an events manager. And I find a lot of the time, where's the outlet for people to say they're uncomfortable? When a girl's there feeling uncomfortable because of a guy or another girl's, you know, arguing with her, or something's happened, and that, you know, you shouldn't. For me, the reason I think festivals in this country are so successful and everyone loves them is because once you get in past security, which is stressful for a lot of people for a number of reasons, once you're in, it's like magical fairy wonderland. And you can just do whatever and it's quite free. And obviously stuff happens where there's still problems there. But generally speaking, once you get past security, you're gone. You're out of your head. And that's what I love about DJing is I'm gone. I'm not there. And I'm trying to set my events up to have that same feel. I think that nature of back-to-back where you're bringing friends of friends of friends, you don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what type of person. You're just trying to get people in. And I go back again to the vibe of my event. Is you focus on the vibe. Is the first event we've got for us at Akin is the 28th of February. I've put it on my close friends. We've nearly sold it's a 70 cap venue. We've nearly sold it out. And what I like, when I've sat on that for a while, what I like most about that is I will know everyone there. No one will make anyone feel uncomfortable. And I had these plans of like, well, then we scale up and scale up and scale up. And actually, I think I'm not going to do that anymore. I think what I'm going to do is stay in a similar sized venue. And I'm going to make sure the crowd that comes is people I know or friends of friends and people in the community who I know. And we will allow other people in who we can vouch for. But it's going to be safe. And then I'm going to scale it.
Okay.
And I make sure that the vibe of the event is very safe, first of all, and then we scale it.
I love that. You need to meet Yogi. Have you met Yogi? Yogi was in the previous episode. It's exactly what he does.
Yeah.
He's so and I can really vouch for the crowds because I'm literally there every month.
And that's what you get. You get that thing, exactly what you said earlier about I would see myself is someone feels uncomfortable, they don't come back.
Yeah.
And exactly the thing you said. You've seen it as well.
Yeah.
If these events are amazing, not just because the music's good, the music's one level to this.
Yes.
It's the vibe, right? And it's like, if the music's good and everyone's like, do you know what? I did connect with people and chat with people. And maybe you did meet someone you like and you hooked up or whatever, but in a safe way. I'm not against it. I just need to make sure no one leaves going, I felt really uncomfortable because this reason. That's what I don't want.
I'm with you. So one thing is, in order to make it more inclusive, safety. Point number 1.
Community. Safety and community.
Beautiful.
Which is similar, but they are really the music is not. It is very important.
Yes.
But the vibe of it's more important.
I agree.
For me.
You know what? The right level of safety and community can be life-changing. And again, if we look at the previous episode where Yogi was sharing his personal story, he was at a rave and he felt contained and listened to by other people simply in the smoking area.
Yeah.
And that changed at least his career because he's now a successful promoter, and I don't think he had that in his plans at the time.
No.
But that had a huge positive impact on him, and he's not from what I know, he's not a musician, he's a businessman, but he creates those kinds of spaces that are appreciated by that community with the big C, everyone in it.
Yeah.
Final question. What do you have cooking? So I understand you have your own event for Akin.
Yes.
And then where can people see you? And then what are your socials?
Okay. So first of all, we do monthly shows on G-Shock Radio. That's something we're really focusing on doing better this year. You know, really telling the story. It kind of, like I said earlier, introverted people, quiet people. I want to get them on and show how good they are and help them be able to tell their own story. So that's G-Shock, and that's what the focus on this year is, getting people in who are amazing.
Can people apply to G-Shock?
They can apply to G-Shock.
Okay.
We've got we have dates for the first 6 months. I think there's a couple of slots left. The second half of the year from July onwards, completely open.
Okay, so people
hit up the socials.
Hit up the socials and apply.
It's better to message me for G-Shock on my Akin account. On the company
what's
account,
your Akin
which
account?
Is at Akin_LDN.
Is that AKIN?
AKIN_LDN.
Lovely.
London. That's better because my own personal DMs are a bit of a mess.
Fair enough.
So if people would just message me for G-Shock on there, when I'm then looking at lineups, I go to my messages and I check them out. And it does take me a time, so please bear with me. But that's that. And then we've finished the residency. We're in talks with a couple of venues in East London.
Nice.
I think we're going to probably do a monthly night somewhere.
Amazing.
So
genres?
House and garage.
Okay.
Because I think again, that layered thing of before we did events in a commercial venue and I was kind of doing commercial stuff and mixing it with my sound.
Yeah.
And I'm quite keen this year for Akin to really stamp its own sound down and show what it is.
Okay.
So housey garage, again, DJs, everyone hit me up if they want to play at them. They're very much in the works, but they will happen. And then we've got that's a potential monthly one, and then our own first independent launch event is at Four Quarters in Peckham on the 28th of February.
Amazing. Well, people come on.
There's not many tickets left.
Oh, okay. So come on quickly.
Yeah. Really cool lineup. It's on Resident Advisor if you want to look it up. I'm not going to reveal it because it's not officially out yet. But if you look at Resident Advisor, it's on there. You'll find it.
Cool.
But yeah, 28th of Feb, Four Quarters. We've got G-Shock. We've talking to another couple of radio stations about stuff.
Nice. Just to check in, sorry to interrupt you. When it comes to your lineups for all of these, I assume they're all mixed or balanced.
100%.
Okay, cool. So everyone, please apply.
And we need more. I've got lots of males hitting me up. I need everyone else.
Okay, so Flintas, get your ass off the couch or stay on the couch, but DM him.
Akin_London DM.
That's
Akin
it.
_LDN
Akin_LDN.
Yeah,
well,
please.
thank you so much.
Thank you
it was honestly such an honor to have you here. Thank you for your time and for your honesty and for your overall awesomeness. Okay, so now that we've listened to your awesomeness, let's hear your awesomeness through a set you've prepared for us. Yep. What have you curated for us today, please?
I've got better at preparing sets, but I've not prepared one. I've prepared my playlists. I'm going to see what happens. It'll be housey garage. It's my sound, house and garage. So it will start off housey, synthy, roozy.
Love
And
that.
go into garage, basically.
Okay, I'm excited. Any of your own
No.
unreleased
No.
stuff? Okay.
If it is, I'm not supposed to tell you, because my mate James Fox said to me, play them, don't tell anyone. So I will be playing stuff, maybe not today,
Okay.
but I'm not going to be telling anyone.
So there might be a surprise. He might or he might not. We
Yeah,
don't
maybe
know.
it's a mystery.
We don't know. Great. Well, let's listen and yeah, and give it a boogie in the
Let's go.
background.
Thank you.
Purposes moving.
from the things we didn't need. Our ego, when we leave, we leave. Free from the things we didn't need. Child, land, can't stand up and cry. I didn't go forward for the perfect life to be searching. Es el analgésico. El groove es el analgésico.
we like the body, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody, we're just some men that's on the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Lordy, lordy, we like the body, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody, we're just some men that's on the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. So listen close so you all don't miss, and we go a little something like this. We rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Oh yeah. Lordy, lordy, we like the body, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody, we're just some men that's on the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Lordy, lordy, we like the body, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody, we're just some men that's on the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What a vibe. Oh my gosh. So from when I started my makeup up to now, you've really taken me through a journey, and I'm not even joking. It was epic. I could tell you're trying to go harder at times. Don't be shy, because as a heart techno girl myself, you please go.
My stuff's slow for you, right?
No, it's lovely. We did our back-to-back at Voices, and it went really well. So yeah,
We'll do it
we
again.
we good.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
My
Thank you for
pleasure.
the beautiful set.
Thank you for having me.
Again, don't forget to follow and get in touch with LJ.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, please, on YouTube and on Insta, and hit me up if you want to be part of any of anything I'm doing. Everything is on Insta. So radio takeovers, events, podcast. Just hit me up. Don't be shy. Bye.
We got